You ate an hour ago, not a snack, a real meal. And somehow, you are hungry again. You stand in front of the fridge with the door open, staring at food you do not need, feeling a pull you cannot explain. You are not weak. You are not lazy. Something inside you is whispering that you are starving, and that whisper is almost impossible to ignore. But the real reason you feel this way is far stranger than a lack of willpower, because your hunger is not broken. Your hunger is working perfectly. It is doing exactly the job it was built to do over millions of years. The problem is that the world it was built for no longer exists, and nobody told your body. Let me show you what is actually happening inside you. For almost the entire history of your species, food was not a guarantee. It was a gamble. You did not eat 3 meals a day on a schedule. You ate when you found something, and then you might not eat again for a day, or 2, or 3. Feast was rare. Famine was always around the corner. So your body evolved a simple, brilliant rule. When food appears, eat it. Eat as much as you can while you can, because tomorrow there may be nothing. Hunger was not a flaw in that world. Hunger was survival. The ancestors who felt a powerful drive to eat and to store every spare calorie as fat lived through the lean times. The ones who shrugged at food did not. You are descended from the hungry ones. So here is the question that should bother you. If hunger kept your ancestors alive, why does it feel like it is sabotaging you now? To answer that, you have to meet the system your body uses to control hunger. And it is far more sophisticated than you think. Your body does not just feel empty and tell you to eat. It runs a constant, invisible accounting system, balancing how much energy you have stored against how much you need. At the center of that system sits a single, remarkable hormone. In 1994, a scientist named Jeffrey Friedman at Rockefeller University discovered it. He called it leptin, from the Greek word for thin. Leptin is made by your fat cells. The more fat you carry, the more leptin you release, and that leptin travels up to your brain carrying a single message: we have enough. You can stop eating now. Think about how elegant that is. Your fat is not just storage, it is a messenger. It reports back to your brain, telling it exactly how full the tank is. When the message arrives loud and clear, your appetite quiets. You feel satisfied. You push the plate away. In a natural world, this system kept your ancestors in near-perfect balance for their entire lives, without a single calorie ever being counted. So if you have plenty of fat, you should have plenty of leptin. And plenty of leptin should mean you never feel starving. So why do you? This is where the story turns. Because the signal is being sent. Your brain just stops listening to it. It is called leptin resistance. Imagine a smoke alarm screaming in every room of your house. At first you react. But if it never stops day after day, your brain learns to tune it out. That is what happens with leptin. When the signal is blasted constantly and at unnatural levels, the brain grows deaf to it. Your fat cells are shouting, "We have enough, we have more than enough, please stop." And your brain, no longer able to hear them, concludes the opposite. It decides you must be starving. So it turns the hunger up. You are surrounded by food, carrying more energy than any ancestor of yours ever dreamed of, and your brain is convinced you are about to die of famine. That is not a personal failing. That is a broken signal. But what broke it? What is screaming so loudly that your brain went deaf? To find that out, scientists ran an experiment that changed everything we thought we knew about hunger. In 2019, a researcher named Kevin Hall at the National Institutes of Health did something deceptively simple. He took 2 groups of people and locked in every variable he could. Both groups were offered meals with the same calories, the same sugar, the same fat, the same protein, the same fiber on paper. The only difference was that one group ate whole, minimally processed food, and the other ate ultra-processed food. The kind that comes in a package, engineered in a lab, designed to taste irresistible. Then he let them eat as much or as little as they wanted. The results were staggering. The people eating ultra-processed food ate around 500 extra calories every single day. Same calories offered, same nutrients on the label. But their bodies could not stop. They were not weak. The food itself was overriding their hunger system. Hall had caught it in the act. Why would that happen? Why would two plates with the same numbers produce two completely different bodies? Part of the answer is speed. Whole food fights back. You have to chew it, break it down, work for it. It releases its energy slowly, giving your gut time to send fullness signals up to the brain. Ultra-processed food is pre-digested for you. It is soft, dense, and gone in seconds. You can eat 1,000 calories before your body even realizes the food has arrived. The off switch is too slow to catch up. But there is something deeper than speed. And it points straight back to your ancestors. Two scientists named Stephen Simpson and David Raubenheimer noticed something strange about how animals, including humans, decide when to stop eating. It is not really about calories at all. They proposed what they called the protein leverage hypothesis. The idea is that your body has a target amount of protein it needs each day, and it will keep you hungry, driving you to eat until it hits that target. Protein, not calories, is the thing your hunger is truly chasing. Now think about what that means in the modern world. Whole foods that your ancestors ate, meat, fish, eggs, are dense in protein. Ultra-processed foods are stripped of it and packed instead with cheap refined carbs and fat. So when you eat them, you can pour in calorie after calorie and still never hit your protein target. Your body, sensing it has not gotten what it needs, does the only thing it knows how to do. It keeps you hungry, it makes you eat more. You finish the whole bag and still feel unsatisfied, because the one thing your hunger was searching for was never in there. You are not overeating because you are greedy. You are overeating because you are quietly malnourished in the middle of abundance. Your ancestors would recognize the feeling. They just never had a way to make it last forever. And there is one more piece, and it is the cruelest one. Because hunger is not only about an empty stomach. It is about reward. Deep in your brain sits a system that releases pleasure, a chemical called dopamine, whenever you eat something valuable. In the ancient world, the sweetest, fattiest foods were the rarest and most precious: ripe fruit, honey, fatty meat. So your brain evolved to flood you with reward when you found them, to make absolutely sure you ate them and came back for more. That reward system was a gift. It pointed your ancestors toward the most life-saving foods on the landscape. But modern food engineers learned to hijack it. Researchers like Stefan Guyenet, who studies how the brain controls appetite, have shown how ultra-processed foods are deliberately designed to hit that reward system harder than anything found in nature ever could. Sugar, fat, and salt, in combinations that simply do not exist in the wild. Your ancient reward circuit lights up like never before, and it drives you back to the food again and again, long after your body has had enough. So now look at yourself again, standing at that open fridge. You are not failing. You are a perfectly tuned survival machine, dropped into a world it was never designed for. Your leptin is shouting, and your brain has gone deaf. Your hunger is hunting for protein that the food does not contain. Your reward system is being played like an instrument by foods engineered to be irresistible. Every signal that kept your ancestors alive is now being turned against you. And here is the part that should change how you think about all of this. Your ancestors were not more disciplined than you. They were not stronger. They simply lived in a world where the food fought back, where calories were hard-won, where there was no bag that never emptied and no flavor that never disappointed. Their hunger and their food were matched. Yours are at war. Knowing this does not make the pull at the fridge disappear, but it changes what that pull means. It is not a verdict on your character. It is a message from a body that loves you, written in a language 2 million years old, trying to keep you alive in a world that no longer plays by the old rules. The next time you feel it, that whisper that you are starving an hour after a full meal, you do not have to believe the whisper. You can recognize it for what it is. An ancient voice doing an ancient job in a place it was never meant to be. You ate an hour ago, a real meal, and you are hungry again. But now you know the hunger is not yours. It belongs to someone who lived 100,000 years ago and never knew the famine would finally end.